following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Terrific arena on the river in downtown Detroit, named for an incredible heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Louis. It's the home of the Detroit Red Wings. Today, though, bowling is king. It's the site of the finals of the United States Open. This crowd is live. 4 temporary lanes gleam under the lights, and we're going to spotlight the 5 pros who have made the finals in the $250,000 United States Open. In our first game, we'll see the PBA's yearly earnings leader from Middleburg Heights, Ohio, Dave Tremont. He'll face the 4th seed from Tarpon Springs, Florida, former PBA Rookie of the Year, Steve Hoskins. Our 3rd-seeded bowler will join the PBA's Career Millionaires Club with a win today. Jackson, New Jersey, Parker Bone III. Our 2nd-seeded player is making his first appearance in a PBA telecast from Stuart, Florida, Paul Koehler. And our tournament leader is the 1982 United States Open champ from Milwaukie, Oregon, Dave Husted. There you have it, our field of 5. For this afternoon's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast live from Joe Louis Arena. Total purse of $250,000, Nelson Burton Jr.
You're right, Chris. A lot at stake. $46,000 on top, solid throughout the top 5. More importantly, a lifetime exemption to this tournament for the winner and a 3-year ride to the Brunswick Tournament of Champions. We're ready to go with the first match. 2 tough players.
All right. And the crowd, it's probably a record crowd. 5, 6, 7,000. We don't have the count in yet. But for arena bowling, it's sensational. Steve Hoskins now. You see him on the left lane of the championship pair. 26-year-old. 5-5. Press him over, Nelson.
I have to admit, Chris, no matter how much experience you have, the arena setting is different. The Triple Crown event, the U.S. Open, Hoskins gets a great break on an errant shot, crosses over for a strike, first frame.
Now here's really the hot man of 1995, Dave Tremont. He's won 2 this year already. Jess Stayrook has won 2 as well. Let's do a profile replay.
The style that's been so dominant this year, 1995, Dave Tremont, one of the best wrist actions in the game, gets the ball at the top of the swing, drives straight on through, gets a good solid knee bend, and look at that wrist snap right up through the ball. He stays down in the shot, much improved. He's our leading money winner. Well,
Tremont marking in his pair in the first frame. Butch Soper, our statistician again today.
What's made David so much better this year as in previous years is he's developed a straight shot. When the lanes are not finishing, his big hook is not coming back, Dave straightens the ball out, gets through that tough time, and then when they open up where he has the big swing area, he can bomb them with the best. 1990, he averaged .272 for a 6-game walk on the PBA Tour, so he can do it.
Dave Tremont, one of the 240 that started earlier this week at Bowl 1 Lanes in Troy, Michigan. So for the finals now, the 5 tops of that big field. 4 games here. This is the first if you just joined us. Second jewel in bowling's Triple Crown. First the PBA National won by Scott Alexander. And the result of a high hit, Nelson, is not pretty.
Well, Chris, he throws the big ball, the big hook, the rainbow shot, and he's just not trusting it right now. As you see the ball almost straight towards down the second arrow, Hoskins needs to give the ball a lot more room and to avoid going high. Gets a big split, a tough shot here at the second frame.
Real hard and to the right, and he was left to 4-7, and so it drops to a 14-pin deficit that he moves now to the left side of these temporary lanes, beautifully installed by AMF. This crowd started coming earlier, much earlier, and they've enjoyed themselves. So a menacing 7-10 for Dave D'Entremont.
Well, Chris, we're back on synthetic lanes as we saw in previous weeks in Long Island and in Erie, Pennsylvania. However, the angle to the pocket is much farther left. What he needs to do is probably take the ball and get over here and bounce the 10-pin over into the 7-pin. I think he'll just go for one, try to keep his timing. But to follow up, Chris, as we see this shot, good attempt.
Okay.
Is the angle to the pocket is a little bit farther left for the right-handed bowlers, and they're not going to get the big carry that we saw like Danny Wiseman last week. So it's more of a premium on the solid hit. The off hit will not carry as well. They can only get about a 4-degree angle of attack to the pocket. The maximum we find out is about 6, so that'll be hard to get today. Match game competition, U.S. Open. The full approach. 17 feet of approach. You can start all the way in the setter area if you like.
Hoskins recovered from an open frame with a 2-pin lead. Early stages of our first match in the United States Open here at Joe Louis Arena in downtown Detroit. That's right. We are in the Motor City of Detroit, a river city with a fabulous skyline.
Wondering why the things we see have distant red.
I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant, but it does. It evaporates less quickly, it also lasts longer, protects better. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. So if you still think every deodorant works the same, take the high endurance challenge from Old Spice, because now you got proof, guaranteed.
McDonald's presents the greatest matchup in basketball, Charles and Taz. Sylvester and Wowie? Wowie and Wowie?
Collect all the matchups on McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Cups. Buy any extra value meal and for 39 cents more, supersize it and get a free cup for a limited time. Break for yours today.
Wedgie and Woldwunner? Gracious, Michael and Michael?
I thought you retired.
McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Showdown Cups.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Athlete's foot is a predator. To cure it all, you've got to kill it all. Today, there's Lotramin AF spray and powder with full prescription-strength medicine that kills all causes of athlete's foot. Lotramin AF, the killer cure.
A terrific jazz singer from Detroit, Harvey Thompson, who often appears at Tavern on the Green in New York and all over the United States. A little bit like John Hartman, if you're a fan of vocals, jazz.
Right now, Steve Hoskins.
He did the shimmy shake.
Hoskins with a little time to grab his thoughts during the commercial. He can take the lead with a strike here in the fourth. He trails by 2 pins. D'Entremont is the opponent.
Yes. That double gives him an 8-pin lead now. Profile again, Bo.
Well, Chris, this guy has what I call the rainbow shot. He's a strong young man, lifts weights all the time, at 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he gets it all. Top of his swing, cocks that ball, and drives all the way through. Look at how far left on the approach he is. Uses the big wrist action, very similar to D'Entremont. Catches it all on that shot. He leads the match by 8.
Make it 18 in our first game, where the winner of the match will go against Parker Bone III. Then the winner of our second game will meet Paul Koehler, and then our tournament leader, Dave Husted.
D'Entremont, strike working fourth, can cut the lead that Hoskins has just garnered down to just 8 pins.
A double for D'Entremont. Next Saturday on ABC Sports, the Professional Bowlers Tour heads north to Canada. PBA President Walter Ray Williams Jr. battles bowling's best in the IOF Foresters Open. That's live next Saturday at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, right here on ABC Sports. We have a record crowd to see the finals of a PBA tournament. 7,200 fans. 7,200. That's 3 in a row now for D'Entremont.
The big D just catches it all there. Saws that rack up.
When I say record, Bo, I've got to mention that in 1968 we had 5,500 in Mobile, Alabama. And then last week, in the modern era, in Erie, Pennsylvania, 4,200.
Good. I know you've done these before in the 60s and the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Keep striking. That's the motto in any of the majors. All tournaments, of course, but especially the majors. And Bo, you know, because you won the United States Open in 1978.
A few years back, Chris, and this modern young players we have today do it just as well as any of the previous winners of this tournament.
And the first time Bo gets on camera, I want you to see the blazer that he was awarded. It still fits him. He has more muscle, I think. But
as you look at Hoskins on, daughter Tiffany, 2.5 years old. Daddy has an 8-pin lead, 7th frame, 4 in a row, can make it 18 opening match.
All right. 5 feet 5, 175 pounds, PBA Rookie of the Year, 1989, here at Joe Louis Arena. Yes, we're downtown, where the spirit of Detroit has been captured in art form, and it's something to behold.
Oh, hi. What do you have? Myself, I have the goulash, I have the fries, I have the cheesecake, and now I'll have the Tums. Tums has calcium.
Many antacids don't. These have aluminum and magnesium. So do these. Tums helps knock out heartburn and gives you calcium.
Something your body needs anyway. So what do you have? Have the goulash, have the fries, have the cheesecake, and have... Tums.
Monroe developed Sensatrack shocks to smooth out the road for a comfortable ride. But Sensatrack doesn't stop there. It's the only shock that also gives you extra control when you need it most. Sensatrack shocks and struts, only by Monroe, for comfort and control.
Rumble down the Rockies at breakneck speed. Go soaring for a slam dunk and bolt out of the gate in California. It's all next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
7,200. Come alive as they see that the cameras are back on. I'm Chris Schenkel, delighted to be back in this wonderful city of Detroit, where bowling really has been king for a long time. Great names: Buzz Fazio, Joe Joseph, Ed Lubanski. Great announcer named Fred Wolf. He's in Florida now, retired. And we have an 18-pin lead here by Steve Hoskins. But Dave D'Entremont is up, can cut it to 8. Turkey working. finding the pocket here in this first match of the United States Open.
Now to take the lead, D'Entremont over on the left lane. D'Entremont last year won in Portland from the number 4 spot. This year, he has been terrific. Winning the Tums Classic, winning in Peoria.
And he goes out to a 2-pin lead here in Detroit.
Now Hoskins is 5 in a row, open with a strike, then an open frame.
High hit, taking out the 4, breaking up the split, leaving the 3-6-10.
So that stops his string at 5, and a dejected, disappointed, aggravated, no doubt, Steve Hoskins has to cover. Waited to the left of center. Come up.
Just did for the spare. And here's Nelson Burton Jr.
Thanks, Chris Schenkel. Parker Bone, the last 3 times you've been in a Triple Crown event, you've finished second. The arena setting, are you going to change it today?
Absolutely, Chris. This is going to be my best tournament without a doubt. And speaking of my best time, I'd like to wish happy 3rd birthday to my youngest son, Evan, at home right now.
Okay, back to Chris Schenkel. I'm Bo Burton. Parker Bone, you're a little nervous. Good luck,
A
pal.
little screwy.
Back to you, partner.
Okay.
That was a good foundation strike for Steve Hoskins. 9th frame of our first match.
5 pins separating the 2.
Dave D'Entremont, 5 in a row, now shooting in the 9th.
Can go out to a 15-pin lead. Winner will meet Parker Bone the 3rd.
D'Entremont a possible 258. Hoskins going at a possible 243. That's one thing the players have to adjust to with a little arena setting, and they're aware of it, being able to stop a little bit and keep things calm down. So D'Entremont doing the smart thing. This is the key shot in this match. Once again, a 5-pin lead can make it 15 9th frame opening match.
Oh, 210.
A wide shot. What D'Entremont likes to do, especially when he's under the gun a little, is give it a lot of room. And what he has here is he's basically gotten the ball too far to the right. He needs to get the ball over next to 2, slide it into the 10. No matter what he does, make or miss, he cannot shut out Hoskins. This game is going to the 10th frame.
A frame that began with a distraction.
Has to be a 1/16 of an inch or less, Chris, of sliding that pin over and converting the spare. Instead of having at least a 3 or 4 pin lead, he's gone in arrears by 11. Right now, the match, if D'Entremont takes it off the sheet, he'll be 222. Hoskins going at a 223 pace. We're due for a tie this season. We haven't had one yet.
Now leaving a 2-pin. Big shot for him. There's Sylvia.
Important that Dave make the spare. He could finish with 212. That would force Hoskins to mark.
Thus far this year, Dave has earned officially $100,015
plus a $25,000 match against Gene Stuss.
Okay, the full count, Chris, makes him mark.
Acknowledging the crowd. It was a tough way to finish, but
Strike or spare, Hoskins wins the match. And open, he loses. He must mark. 10th frame.
Tarpon Springs, Florida. Best was 10th this year at the AC Delco in California, but we're in the home of AC Delco and Frank Gahn, Detroit.
Hoskins can finish for 243. He has the match in hand. It's going to be Hoskins against the left-hander Parker Bone, who's playing the critical outside line. Chris, he's going right down the left edge. It's going to be interesting. He has the carry power to shoot some big numbers. Hoskins, a spare here, will be 232. Good start.
Really is. A lot of the tension relieved now after his victory here in the first match and getting ready to move up, who seemed very nervous with you, Bo. Parker Bone the third.
Unusual. Parker is, and you know what I think is somewhat the U.S. Open, the arena setting, but that outside line, Chris, you know, you can really get in a lot of trouble out there. It's a high-risk, high-reward shot. It'll be interesting to see how he attacks it in Game 2.
Well, if you're going to miss, do it now. 231 to 212. Steve Hoskins of Florida is the winner. This ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
America's greatest horse race, the Kentucky Derby, May 6th on ABC.
Announcing a waterproofing breakthrough.
Thompson's Water Seal Ultra Waterproofer.
Ultra powerful.
The best multi-surface waterproofer you can buy.
Ultra protective.
Thompson's Ultra beats the competition hands down.
Thompson's Ultra, the ultimate waterproofer.
Hey, want to try new Pert Plus?
Pert Plus? No way. I tried it years ago. My hair needs a separate conditioner.
It's changed. This new stuff cleans and conditions better than back then.
But it's still a shampoo and conditioner in one. And I don't like it.
Wrong. It's a shampoo and precise blend of conditioners. Individually balanced for every kind of hair.
Conditioners?
Yes, they condition exactly where you need them most.
A 2-in-1 does that? We'll see. Well, it is actually better. I can feel it.
New Pert Plus in 5 precise new formulas. One's right for your hair.
It's a lot better. Really.
Distinctive, comfortable clothing fits today's active and demanding lifestyle. Add fashion, quality, and flair, and you've got PBA Tour Apparel. PBA Tour Apparel, made in America, is clearly the choice of champions, like PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke. Activewear with American-made quality and style and recognizable value. Call 1-800-521-5212 to place your order for PBA Tour Apparel or your free catalog. PBA Tour Apparel by King Louis, the striking difference.
One day until the greatest epic ever made comes to ABC.
Who is this fair young god?
Charlton Heston returns to the screen as Moses.
Let my people go.
The 10 Commandments, Sunday at 7, 6 Central on ABC.
Hi, I'm Larry Loretti. Why is Pro Golf Discount America's favorite golf store? Big discounts on name brand equipment. I mean big discounts.
Big discounts just keep on coming, Larry, with Pro Golf's Masters Green Tag Sale. Save big on all green tag items, plus enter to win a trip to the 1995 British Open.
And remember, only Pro Golf guarantees the best price on the same equipment, or it's free. That's why Pro Golf Discount is America's favorite golf store.
Hurry, sale ends Monday.
So, what's your idea of a hot new car?
The car I want has to be red. Red.
Hot new interior, and what else?
Power windows, power locks, and the nice stereo.
Sounds like you know all about the 95 Regal.
But I don't think I can afford this.
Sure you can. $299 a month. $299 a month for Regal.
I like that. Has to be red. Red.
Get into Vilatel, Ed, Rinky, Bob Janot, and Armstrong Buick. Get ready to move.
Catch sports action with Dave Llewellyn late night Sunday on 7.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by Pert Plus Shampoo and Conditioner. Great hair, no fuss. McDonald's, have you had your break today? And the new Cuda C with Ceramicor from Columbia 300. Columbia bowls the world over.
Here at Joe Louis Arena, record crowd. Steve Hoskins with 8 strikes defeated Dave D'Entremont 231 to 212. Now meets Parker Bone. I'm with an incredible competitor, Walter Ray Williams Jr., president of the Professional Bowlers Association. Arena bowling, you did it last week. It's exciting.
It's very exciting to be bowling on TV. For one thing is great, but to be where you got all these extra fans, because that's something we don't really get a chance to really get involved with. We know lots of people back home are cheering for us. They tell me about it every week, but when you get 5, 6, and then 7,000 people like they've got here cheering for you, it really gets you excited about bowling.
Walter Ray, as president, I know you have a comment or two to our viewers out here.
Well, the PBA, the players really appreciate all the fans we've got back home. And if for some strange reason they're not getting support from the media, we'd like them to get a hold of the media and let them know that they'd like to hear more results. And I think everybody ought to just really get out and bowl and join some more leagues and enjoy the pro tours.
Is this crowd live or not?
This crowd's great. What do you think about it here in Detroit?
Okay.
Not bad.
Congratulations, Hall of Fame coming up for you, my friend.
Thank you.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. We go into the second match now. Thank you.
Well, Hoskins is loose now. He could just do anything. That big rainbow shot of his, when it starts working around the pocket, it'll knock 10, 12 pins down, Chris. So we'll see if Parker Bone can handle the ton of strikes I expect in this game.
He is so compact, lower center of gravity with that on that 5'5" frame, and he's strong, 175-pounder, 26 years old.
Now, Parker is the one that looks the most nervous of the 5 combatants today, Chris, and he's playing the toughest line. The left-handers are forced to the absolute outset edge. That is tough.
A 7-pin on the right lane for our first left-hander today.
One of the premier left-handers and bowlers in the world. Parker Bone, just absolutely in perfect position. Look, he's playing the outside line. He's going to edge it out to the edge. Look at the deep knee bend, the follow through, and perfect on the spare.
Record $7,200, $20 a pop. Home of the Red Wings, and they're undefeated in 7 games, being the hockey fan that I am. Played in Toronto last night, beat the Maple Leafs. We're in Toronto next week. Good stop. Good breaks and a smile. It sounded like an infant with a little wail. It had broken his concentration. Oh, yes. That's a Parker Bone strike, whoever was one. Young man with 10 championships. He had a 300 here this week. There were 10 of them. And Hoskins double puts him in the lead. And here's Nelson Burton Jr.
Thanks, Chris. The Big D game looked like it was well in hand until the 8th and 9th, 10th frames, and he had to stop, and a bunch of things happened. What?
Yeah, well, 2 weeks ago, the approach was a little bit slippery. Today, they're a little bit tacky, but there's no excuses. I just didn't make the shots when I needed to make them.
You're a great champion, having a great year. And how about the left side? Do you think the Hoskins can handle Parker Bone?
I don't know. Parker looked like he was fishing around a little bit during practice, trying a lot of different things. So I haven't really seen what he finally chose. So we'll have to sit and watch.
You're a nice man, great champion. See you next week. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you. 3-6 for Steve Hoskins. Took half a year off in 91 and 92 to attend the St. Petersburg, Florida Junior College. There's a tip on how to cover the 3-6. We'll have the Choice Hotel tip of the week a little bit later on with Bo Burton. I want you to watch it in particular because we see Mr. Burton as a baby-faced young professional.
Parker Bone just picking up a little something on the floor, doing a little housework, and that's something that all lead bowlers even should pay attention to. The approaches aren't pristine clean, and it is a player's obligation to make sure it's prepared for a shot.
Big double. Tonight, Robert Urich stars in a world premiere ABC family movie, A Horse for Danny, followed by Jeff Fahey in an all-new episode of The Marshal. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central Time on ABC.
High risk, high reward for Parker Bone. He's playing that critical outside line. If he can keep it left, trust it, not dump it off the old moat, he could be a force to be contended with. It right now, he has a 2-pin lead, can make it 12.
Oh, Bo.
That's when you're forced. The oil pattern forces you outside. There's more oil farther out on the left. Parker has to go around it. A very small mistake. What Parker's going to do is probably going to get over here in the 4-7 zone, try to slip it over into the 6-10. But it's best to go for 2. A disastrous open in the 4th.
So that changes the picture, at least for the moment here, in our second game of the United States Open in Detroit. This Motor City's downtown area has a people mover, and one of the stops is right here at Joe Louis Arena.
Just when you thought you knew your way around the game, Columbia 300 introduces a finer point, Barracuda. The new Cuda C with Ceramicor from Columbia 300. Experience the power from within.
Columbia owns the world over.
We're at McDonald's All-Star Showdown. Sylvester is surrounded. He breaks through. He scores. Let's see that in slow-mo.
McBacon Deluxe.
Make way for Michael Jordan's McBacon Deluxe. 2 all-beef patties topped with savory bacon. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month for a limited time.
It's good.
Sure is.
Michael Jordan's McBacon Deluxe.
Have you had your break today? Defending champ Al Unser Jr. and IndyCar's best storm into the streets of Southern California. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Sunday on ABC.
Yes, it's named for the best one-punch knockout artist in the heavyweight division, Joe Louis. Danny Weissman, who won last week, and the Hall of Famer, Johnny Petraglia, on the left of the screen. Huskins is spare up shooting in the 4th. Going into that frame, he had a 16 pin lead, now 15. Capacity of the Joe Louis Arena is 18,005 for hockey. Some concerts, 20,000. Well, Hoskins continues to mark. Here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Paul Koehler in second place. Paul, 2 full years on the tour. It's been somewhat of a financial struggle, and $46,000 on top with a lifetime exemption. What would a victory mean to you here?
Well, it really opened up a lot of doorways. It really would. My career would just take off, leaps and bounds.
Well, 46 grand would have to make keep you on the tour for quite a while.
Yeah, yes, it would.
Chris, this young man's got potential. He's very tough. We'll see him in the next game. Back to you.
Another Floridian. Oh! How docile. Pin sitting, stands beyond, of course, the deck. Watch this. Even Butch Soper, the veteran, our scorer, gives that one a long look. Nelson, watch this.
That's that technology strike, Chris. Hoskin likes it. He's on a roll. See if Parker can rebound from that open in the 4th.
If Parker can win or finish second today, he will join the Career Millionaires Club. He's earned $981,987. Winner today gets $46,000. The runner-up gets 24.
Hoskins looking at the rack. That's what he's down there, looking at the 1-3 pocket, see if he wants a re-rack. Fiddles around. Parker Bone, who lost this tournament in the championship to Justin Romek last year, 267 to 230. This is the second match.
Last win for Parker was in 1993 when he teamed with Alita Sill. The Mara mixed doubles in Reno. The 9 other titles of Parker, 7 came from the #1 qualifier position.
And did you see how much he trusted that ball in an adjustment for that split in the 4th? He sent that baby down there 45 feet just hanging on the edge. Great shot.
What was that? Double for Hoskins, 15-pin lead. Second match.
Hoskins, interesting player, 1989 Rookie of the Year, and then he was in an automobile accident. 1991, was out for 9 months. He said it actually made him better. He was burned out after a couple of years. He spent 9 months off the tour, came back, went back to college, is studying for his accounting degree, said he'd get next year, and trying to combine father, bowling, school, and obviously a championship right here, as he now has a 15-pin lead, 7th frame. The power's taken over. Power shots.
Acknowledging a rapid heartbeat. Late strike, but he leads by 25 and will be back.
Don't be afraid of a hand for your hand.
Today, millions of Americans are running faster with the same size engines and farther on the same amount of fuel. Millions have discovered the patented advantages of the split-fire spark plug, a difference that delivers on every stroke of every piston. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs, a 4.8% gain in mileage. If you're not running the split-fire, you're probably behind someone who is. Split-fire, more power and more mileage, or your money back.
Only one satellite TV system offers the most sports, from most channels to the best coverage. The Full View Satellite TV system. It's one giant leap in home television.
Houston, could you repeat the whole thing again, please?
Get free home installation. Call 1-800-778-4900 for a dealer near you.
Their talent transcended sport. Now, a revealing look at Katarina Witt and Nadja Comaneci when Nike presents A Passion to Play next Sunday on ABC.
Here at the Joe Louis Arena, we're back before a record crowd of 7,200. The 1982 United States Open champion is our tournament leader today. 1 game away from another U.S. Open title. Milwaukie, Oregon, his home.
Parker Bone up, 7th frame, trails a hot Steve Hoskins by 25 pins.
4-7-8.
Well, his ball is just being seriously sensitive to the dry, Chris. When he gets it in the dry zone, it just overreacts. I think a pretty good shot here. He's hanging it on the very edge, and the ball just catches too much dry and just jumps tremendously with a very acute angle towards the pocket. Can't control it, leaves himself at a somewhat unusual spare at the 4-7-8. Ooh. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Crucial open frame for Parker Bone.
You know how many spares over in that left-hand corner we've seen miss, Chris, in the last 5 or 6 weeks? We watched McNeely miss one at the Johnny Petraglia. We saw Ringeter miss over in that area, and look at this. A left-hander lets it slide across the center. It slides too much, doesn't take the bite, and he's slid by the 4, 7, and 8. He's in trouble. Hoskins quote, "Look at the floor and not at the score." That's what he's doing right now. He has a 40-pin lead. He has to just get all you can get, right, Chris?
Yes. That he does. Steve defeated Dave D'Entremont in our first match. If you just joined us, 231, 8 strikes to D'Entremont's 212. Winner today, 46,000. Runner-up 24, 14 for third, 10-5 to the loser of this game. D'Entremont leaves with 8,500.
Has that index finger wrapped with tape to get a little better grip on the outside edge of the ball. There you go. Set up. Uses it to balance the ball in the backswing and snap that wrist. That shot there relegated Parker Bone, the third, to 4th place. This is the one that slams the door. He's loose. Parker can finish with a very creditable 217, but it will not nearly be enough as Hoskins has a possible 267.
But his wife, Mary, celebrating the birthday of Evan, their 3-year-old son. She'll be happy with the 10-5.
Plus bonuses?
Yes.
Solid. Probably 25,000 in bonuses. Not too bad. Hello. Boy, I'd like to have that shot back in the 4th frame. That would change the whole measure of this match. Finishing well.
That's Lisa.
Hoskins. Little daughter Lindsay, 2.5 years old, also watching. Daddy doing quite well at the halfway point of the finals of the U.S. Open, 1995 version. That away, Parker.
He won't let up ever. Great champion. 10 titles in 11 years. 34th telecast for him. Second this year. He was 5th in the AC Delco in Lakewood.
Old saying, if you can do it with a pencil, you can do it with a bowling ball. And actually, Parker has a chance by striking out, forcing Hoskins to at least keep it in play. 216. Four pins is necessary for Steve Hoskins on the first ball. Stay behind the foul line, 4 pins, and he'll go on to meet an untested young player, Paul Koehler, in the semifinal.
Strong Steve Hoskins winning his second match. We'll have the final score for you a little later as we go into the semi-final game next. This week's Choice Hotels Tip of the Week features who else? Bo Burton.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
One of the keys to enjoying the sport of bowling as we get older is to keep up with modern technology. Years ago, I just looked for the strike line because the lanes were oiled fairly equally gutter to gutter. Once I knew the strike shot, I knew the spare shots. On today's modern bowling lane, that is not true. Most lanes have a heavier oil concentration in the center, so you first must find your strike line around the oil. Then it's important to try a shot down the left and the right because the surface friction is different in order to make the spares. Here I shoot for the 4-7 zone crossing the center of the lane. Then it's important as you warm up to try one in the 6-10 zone. Now you're ready for your play. You've found the left side and the right side and the strike zone, and you can be a winner. And remember, winning never gets old.
Look for future ABC Sports winning never gets old bowling tips. Brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
There are gut balls and gutter balls. And sometimes the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history. Narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, winning never gets old, and neither does saving money.
If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room in any Quality, Comfort, Clarion, or Sleep hotel. And you can save 30% off the price of your room. That number again, 1-800-4CHOICE. Perfect.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep hotels.
This spring, Napa is celebrating its 70th anniversary with low prices on some great parts and accessories. Pick up Champion resistor spark plugs, only 59 cents each. A Time to Shine complete car wash kit, just $7.99. And STP oil treatment, free after mail-in rebate. So stop into Napa soon, your complete auto parts source since 1925.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Start a project with Minwax Wood Finish and turn new into treasured, secondhand into first-rate, ordinary into extraordinary. Because Minwax Wood Finish makes it easy to turn any project into a beautiful masterpiece. Minwax makes wood beautiful.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Again, Tarpon Springs, Steve Hoskins struck 8 times. Total score of 256 to Parker Bones, 216. Now goes into the semifinal against Paul Koehler of Stuart, Florida. A sidebar, a level up here at massive Joe Louis Arena, was this scene where you could get players' autographs, buy bowling equipment, memorabilia, concessions were there, so if you were thirsty or hungry, Walter Ray is busy doing it. Let's go into 6 through 24, Nelson.
Well, Chris, for the U.S. Open, it's a 56-game format. The size of the field, 240 players. 96 are league qualifiers with 144 touring pros. Mike Albee in there. Ted Hennis is always tough. The King, Ron Williams. Mark Roth, April 10th, his birthday. My son, Nelson III, also April 10th.
Hey.
Kelly Kaufman, the power man, needs to be a little more consistent. Steel Smith, LeClaire, watch that name. I like him. Norm Duke, #2 behind Deadeye right now. Tim Chris, a good winner. The big Texans right there, 17 and 18. The Warrior, Dave Ferraro. Cliff Connors, one of the league players. Steve Wilson was in a championship round a few weeks ago. Chris Warren let that powerful ball go. And Richie Buss round out the top 24. 60 cashers this week.
240 started. And next week we go to Markham, Ontario, suburb of Toronto, for the IOF Foresters Open. Mike Edwards, the defending champion. 2 weeks from today, another arena event. Harper College, outside of Chicago, for the finals of the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Our 14th and final stop for 1995. Match 3. Paul Koehler in the orange-red shirt. Hoskins ready for his third match, Bo, of the afternoon.
Christie's averaging 243 through 2 matches. He has the power to maintain the carry from that inside line. I like to call it the rainbow shot, almost a bungee type release with that big snap. And right now, let's see if Koehler can stop the Hoskins train.
Frame 1, strike. Now, Paul Koehler, he's 25 years old, 5'7", 152 pounds. His mother, Yvonne, is here, along with you, to watch him bowl. He has 4 regional titles. He has 3 cashes in 11 tournaments this year.
Just maturing on the tour.
High hit, leaving the 3.
Well, he gets a good break. You need a little break as you see the strong profile of this young man. 4 steps. He's a weightlifter, Chris. Very strong upper body. That 4-step short delivery. Got a good wrist action. Drives straight through it. He's solid at the line. Doesn't quite trust that shot. Very good there. Doesn't quite trust it to the target. And breaks up the 310 baby split. His opening championship round shot.
Delightful young man. I flew to several California stops with him a few years ago, Bo, and had a chance to really visit with him.
There you can see the 56-game format. Those first 4 numbers are 8-game blocks. That's 32 games of qualifying, 5, 6, and 7, 24 games of match play finals. 7 days, 56 games. Kay-lor in the semifinals. And now you're right. Paul Koehler is a delightful young man. He's really improved his game in the last year.
So he has left it too far. And he lives in one of the garden spots of America, Stuart, Florida.
Chris, he almost leaves the 2-4-10 here, gets a great break in the 10-pin, leaves himself an easy spare. He can get out of these 2 opening frames a little shaky with marks. He'll be okay.
He's to the right of center to cover the 2-4. And the cross lane shot, effective. 2 spares for Paul Koehler. Now Steve Hoskins open with a strike. Getting ready to bowl in the second frame of the semifinal game. The winner to meet, Dave Husted. There's a double and a 12-pin lead, Nelson.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. And Hoskins looks very sharp as he opens with 2 strikes. The first one, a power shot in the first, and then he hits solid in the second. As I'm talking to Parker Bone, and Parker said next week's another week. But Parker, next week's not the U.S. Open, pal.
It's all right. Next week's another good week out here on the tour. And you can't win every week, but I'll tell you what, you get me to the show again, and I'll show somebody else how to do it.
You had a tough line out there, the outside line.
Yeah, the left lane really hooked a lot on me, and I made 1 bad shot there on the right lane. So between the 2 bad shots overall, and Steve bowled 1 really great game. So best of luck to him, and we'll just take it from there.
All right, Chris, back to you.
19 strikes this afternoon for Steve Hoskins. 8 in his 2 victories, and now 3. Watch this reaction. We got it. Right. Spare up, shooting in the third, Paul Koehler. Shows you how he really can bowl.
Tell you what, Chris, this fella's really worked on his game. He used to step across the shot as Yvonne looks on, Paul's mother. He used to really step across the shot and have a serpentine approach to the left, and he couldn't keep his, that's cute. Could not keep the ball in play consistently. He straightened his approach out somewhat, and he's always had the rest of the game. And right now, he'd like to get his first double in a championship round. Real good.
Oh, did he reach out there? Oh,
real good.
Follow through. Woo. Paul Koehler at Joe Louis Arena. Lovely artwork like this Venetian glass mosaic can be found in every station along Detroit's People Mover network. Here is Grand Circus Park.
Yes, sir.
Hurry, get on board, it's coming. Won't you listen?
Yeah, I hear you. Hello.
Look! Oh my gosh, it's a little chimp. Oh, he looks like a little person.
They're really not.
Look how smart he is.
They're not very intelligent, honey. They're dopey.
Look at him.
We have a dummy on our hood.
Oh, where's he going?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
And now, Valley of the Apes.
Can't be sure about where you stand. You can't be sure about what you planned. But you can be sure you can raise your hand. You can be sure to be dry. You can be sure to be dry.
Sure Solid has the most effective wetness fighting ingredient you can buy, so you can be sure to be dry.
You can't be sure you can meet the demand. You can't be sure about where you land. You can be sure you can raise your hand. You can be sure to be dry. You can be sure to be dry.
Wednesday. Will Christine have Hayden committed for snoring?
Didn't I see you in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Coach, Wednesday on ABC.
In the background, a terrific vocalist, jazz vocalist, Harvey Thompson, with a extremely talented quintet here at Joe Louis Arena. Steve Hoskins, 3 in a row, shooting in the 4th. leads by 12. Two and a sleeper 8 on the right lane.
Well, that's the only lane he's really struggled with, Chris. He's 11 of 12 strikes. As you see his ball sliding by, the 2-pin goes to sideboard and takes out the 4-7. But he's had a little trouble in the right-hand lane and 11 of 12 on the left. So if he can keep spanking that left lane, every time he hits that right, it's a 3-bagger.
Games of 231 and 256 and victories over Dave D'Entremont and Parker Bone for Steve Hoskins.
I'll give you a Steve Hoskins quote. I know I don't have to be as accurate as many other players in the game because of my power. So he's used it so far well today, Chris.
Jeannie Halsey of the Forum Quaker State Open site knows him well. He has won 2 Quaker States. Strike in the 5th for Hoskins, 98 through 4. And Paul Koehler is back up. His regional championships came in Sebring, Maitland, and Gunterville, Alabama. That puts 3 in a row for Paul Koehler, and it's all even, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. It's obviously the guy who's the tournament leader, David Husted. David, 11 victories, no losses in your last 4 appearances. The all-time record, 16-0. What's the story? How about today?
Just one shot at a time, Bo. The lanes are a little different. Concerned with the right lane a little bit. I might end up moving out to the right a little bit and take my hand out of it and just kind of roll it in the dry a little more.
Well, you've led it for 56 games inside. Is that a good move?
Well, it's a different setting here, synthetic lanes versus wood. I'm just going to go out there and try to read my ball and do the best I can.
All right, partner, good luck. Second championship. Back to you, Chris.
Oh, the reaction by Paul Koehler, and maybe the laziest strike I've ever seen. Watch it. Oh, the reaction was to a strike that didn't seem possible, even halfway through the pin action, but gives him a 10-pin lead. And Steve Hoskins ties it up again. Coming up next, it's an afternoon of action on ABC's Wide World of Sports. We'll hit the rugged trails of the Colorado Rockies for the World Mountain Bike Championships. Plus, 4 top athletes battle it out in the finals of the Foot Locker Slam Fest and a key Kentucky Derby prep race as NASDAQ presents the Santa Anita Derby. That's all coming up next here on ABC Sports. Santa Anita, where we did the equestrian competition of the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games. And it's a 10-pin lead for the Waltzer. In the semifinal game, here's a look at Detroit's Greektown, known for years as an entertainment mecca. And it is.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now you can change to the intelligent oil and save $3.60 on a case of Quaker State. See store display for details.
As I sling the proverbial hash and decant the coffee and witness the results, I am dismayed by the belief that an antacid in a spoon is somehow stronger than a tablet. Au contraire.
Dose for Dose Tums Ultra neutralizes more acid than my Lancer regular strength. And while this has aluminum and magnesium,
Tums Ultra has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
So if you must take your antacid in a utensil, may I suggest
Ultra.
Our country's best take on the world's elite, plus a special performance by Olympic champion Oksana Bayul. It's the Hershey's Kisses International Challenge next Sunday on ABC.
Here at Joe Louis Arena, Detroit, Paul Koehler with an unusual shot.
Chris, the head pin goes to the sideboard, and he gets just a terrific break as it twists between the 2, 7, and 8 pins. That made it 4 in a row, kept him even in the match, and right now after Hoskins has added 2 more strikes, Kay-lor needs a strike in the 7th that once more even the match. Semifinal U.S. Open. Great performance so far by Paul Koehler. First time ever in a championship round.
Go Scout. Look at this crowd. Paul's mom.
Paul Koehler, excellent young player, opening championship round. Has a couple technology strikes there in the 6th and 7th frames. It's up to him to take advantage of them over Hoskins, who has already won 2 matches. They're all even, 3 frames left.
Now Koehler has a batter, and does he run him out?
He's a strong finisher. His last 3 rounds in the tournament regular, he finished 279, 277, 279 in rounds 6, 7, and 8, so he knows how to put them together. But here's a man who's won 2 Quaker State championships, and he knows how to answer.
They're tied up again.
Steve Hoskins cannot get any more on the ball and keep it on the lane. He delayed his swing at the top, took an extra little time at the bottom of his swing, and just caught it all, trusted it to the right. And right now, if both players, as Steve's wife looks on, if both players take it off the sheet, it'd be a 278 tie. That's what we almost ran into last week, partner.
Here at Joe Louis Arena, it's punch and counter punch, these 2 bowling professionals. Ninth frame. A 10-pin lead.
Hoskins' 2 best shots right there of the whole day. He's risen to the occasion. He's bowled Paul Koehler many times, both Floridians. Neither one of them giving an inch. Let's see if Kay-lor can answer. If Kay-lor strikes out, he cannot lose in regulation, only in a sudden death overtime.
Oh, these fans are with this attractive young man. He'll have the ladies standing in line, Bob.
He's had them before. Right now, he'll have the bank tellers standing in line, Chris. He's got a potential big paycheck here. He needs to perform 1 more frame here to keep Hoskins on the ropes. Possible 278 tie here in the semifinal. Here we go.
Mikhail Baryshnikov. You see him leap in the air. Or Bart Connor.
The arena setting gets the adrenaline flowing. Says he wants to go surfing in Costa Rica after this tournament's over. Nice big paycheck wouldn't help pay the expenses. You get a big smile from Kay-lor there because that was a key shot, and Chris, he pulled that ball inside target and it just set back. He knew that in any other conditions other than ideal arena conditions, that ball goes a little high.
And he gave his fellow Floridian a long look.
Well, he's put the pressure on Hoskins. If Kay-lor strikes on this ball, he finishes 278. He cannot lose in regulation. If they tie, we'll do a 2-frame roll-off. Here we go.
spares, and the rest strikes. 2, 7, 8.
Okay, last week, Danny Wiseman, 278.
Listen to this crowd. Standing.
And Mike Edwards had a chance to win at 279. He got 2 strikes and 8. Right now, Hoskins needs 3 to tie.
The scout didn't do it in this case. 278 for Kay-lor. Standing ovation for both professionals at Joe Louis Arena. Look at it. This ABC Sports presentation of Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Only one satellite TV system offers the most sports, from most channels to the best coverage. The Full View Satellite TV system. It's one giant leap in home television.
Houston, could you repeat the whole thing again, please?
Get free home installation. Call 1-800-778-4900 for a dealer near you.
McDonald's presents the greatest matchup in basketball, Charles and Taz. Sylvester and Wowie? Wowie and Wowie?
Collect all the matchups on McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Cups. Buy any extra value meal and for 39 cents more, supersize it and get a free cup for a limited time. Break for yours today.
Wedgie and Woldwater? Gracious, Michael and Michael?
I thought you retired. McDonald's NBA Looney Tunes All-Star Showdown Cups.
Saturday.
Just came here to take him back.
What happens when the hunter becomes the hunted? Critics call Jeff Fahey an arresting presence with charming fallibility.
No explosion.
The Marshal, Saturday on ABC.
Suppose it never happened. Suppose the ambulance was never called. So you're not in cardiac care because your health plan identified your health risks before they became serious problems. Suppose you never had a heart attack because your health plan is M-Care. M-Care, designed by the University of Michigan, a plan for life.
You know, a lot of men don't believe that you can still get a great suit for under $200. Although the Men's Warehouse is not a store where you can get a cheap suit cheap, we are very excited about our $200 suit. We offer for $199 a 100% wool suit, and we believe it's the best value in clothing you can get today. I guarantee it.
13 stores in Detroit. Call 1-800-776-SUIT.
Find out why the gods must be crazy late night tonight on 7.
I'm Julie Moran in New York. Coming up next, an afternoon of action on ABC's Wide World of Sports. We'll hit the rugged trails of the Colorado Rockies for the World Mountain Bike Championships. Plus, 4 of sport's finest athletes battle it out in the finals of the Foot Locker Slam Fest. And from Canada, it's the World Ski Jumping Championship. And a key Kentucky Derby prep race as NASDAQ presents the Santa Anita Derby. That's all coming up next on Wide World of Sports. Now let's go back to bowling.
Paul Koehler from Florida, looking for his first victory, has put together 10 strikes and a 278 to defeat Steve Hoskins, who shot a big 256. And the final game is coming up in this event at Joe Louis Arena.
Not for the faint-hearted, Chris. 240 or better to win this championship game. I don't give an edge to either player, even though Kaylor's never been there before. Husted, no chinks in his armor, but he's going for his second U.S. Open title. It's a barn burner.
Well, I just wish the man for whom this arena is named were alive, because he loved bowling, he loved golf, But he bowled with your dad.
Yes, he did. During World War II, my dad, Joe Louis, and the great Willie Hoppy toured many military bases. Joe Louis was a 170-plus player, and right now 170 won't get you a bite in this game. You better have that about the 8th frame as David Husted throws the opening shot, championship match, U.S. Open.
11 titles, including the 1982 United States Open in Milwaukie, Oregon. 34 years old. Next week, April 14th. 35. All right, here he is. The new darling of the PBA set.
Let's see what that last game took out of him, Chris. There is a lot of work throwing 10 strikes in a row to win your first game in a championship round.
So smooth at the line.
His fundamentals are so good now. When I first met him as a rookie 3 years ago, Chris, he stepped across. His right hip was not in line with his target as he went down the lane, and since then he's made so many different changes where his horizontal alignment of his hips and shoulders are parallel to the intended target, and that's what you need to get away with mistakes. He's got the strong ball. Right now he's throwing 11 strikes in a row.
12 in a row, and if they were in the same game.
Well, they call that in the old days a Verapapa 300. Andy Verapapa, the oldest man to ever win this tournament at age 56.
Every great name seems to have won the United States Open.
You bet.
But the champ of 82 is right there to answer back.
Here's just a dynamite, time-proven style. David Husted, everything in good shape, high backswing, lets it just flow right on through. Hits the line solid, down, good athletic ability. Very important to keep the pressure on Kay-lor. It's going to be the man who breaks first in this championship.
David Husted, who also won the Brunswick World Open Championship. And we'll be doing the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions 2 weeks from today. Another arena setting. Final stop for ABC on the 1995 PBA Tour.
Two slightly different styles here. Kay-lor rolling the ball smoothly at the foul line, as he is right there.
Okay, next Saturday, the Professional Bowlers Tour rolls into Canada. PBA President Walter Ray Williams Jr. takes aim at bowling's big guns in the IOF Foresters Open in Markham, Ontario. That's live next Saturday at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, here on ABC Sports.
What's at stake for Kay-lor here? His first victory, obviously. Tournament of Champions for 3 years. A lifetime exemption into the U.S. Open and $46,000. A lot at stake for this young man.
14 in a row. We're at Joe Louis Arena, downtown Detroit. The U.S. Open. Yes, its Eagle Trophy appears to be hang gliding over downtown Detroit.
Athlete's foot is a predator. To cure it all, you've got to kill it all. Today, there's Lotramin AF spray and powder with full prescription strength medicine that kills all causes of athlete's foot. Lotramin AF, the killer cure.
Yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant. But it does. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Now you got proof. Guaranteed.
Splitfire won a United States patent. It's clearly different, but is it really better? Some of the toughest judges in the nation conducted trials and published their verdicts. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. A 4.8% gain in mileage. Quicker in the quarter mile. There's nothing like a Splitfire. You'll get more power and more mileage, guaranteed. You'll get it all for your money back.
Defending champ Al Unser Jr. and IndyCar's best storm into the streets of Southern California. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, Sunday on ABC.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by Brunswick. Get in the zone with Brunswick. Quality, comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels. And Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running.
4 specially installed temporary lanes by AMF in the center between the blue lines of hockey. Here at Joe Louis Arena, there is no ice on the floor. Had 3 in a row going for him. Dave Husted, shot in the 4th frame. He has left the 2 and sleeper 8. Last year, David won 2 tournaments in Bedford, Ohio, Kennewick, Washington. This year, he won in Las Vegas, the Showboat. He sort of moved with his hand to his back like he had pulled something or strained it, and he's wincing. He is wincing in pain. Oh, he's having trouble with his left leg. It was on the left side. Let's watch now as he shoots in the 5th frame. Left lane. And he is hurting. He is hurting, but he made a strike. Okay, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. A quest rule is very simply this. If Dave Husted cannot continue, he forfeits the match. There is no alternate. And Steve Hoskins, you had to be surprised that Kay-lor was standing that pressure you put on him in the semifinal.
I really wasn't. I've known Paul for years. We're very good friends. He comes to the house a lot. He's a pretty cool customer, as he proved. This is really the title match everyone wants, because these 2 guys go better than everybody all week
in a row.
One of these 2 guys deserves this tournament.
Stuart, Florida. Must be jumping. A lot of discomfort. Did he stick on the right lanes? Did he? Well. Paul Koehler is halfway to a Bowling Proprietors of America $100,000 bonus. Can he do it? He has 16 in a row now.
He has to still think about winning the tournament, though.
Yes.
Husted's not going to throw in the towel unless he's injured.
Right there, throws it.
He's holding his back, Chris.
Yes.
You're right.
Yep. Just over the kidney area.
I'll tell you what may have happened. It happened to me once, 1980 Masters. On synthetic lanes, sometimes when a person perspires, it drips on the approach. You don't see it, and it causes you to stick. And what happened, it might happen to Husted, and it's his obligation to make sure the approach is clear. So it's not Kay-lor's fault. Husted's going to do the best he can. This match is far from over, and I'm sure it's not a decoy shot out there. He's really hurting.
Look at that. You're looking at one of the terrific athletes on the Professional Bowlers Tour, and you'd want him for your neighbor, believe me. Ian Michelle, his wife, and Champ, his dad, in bowling forever. Milwaukie, Oregon. Now, 7th frame.
What a run, 16 strikes in a row. But by no means has he locked up a championship. Here you see the half 10. He breaks the 7-10 down with a little action, the head pin over with the 4-pin. Important to make this spare because lurking is David Husted. A little disturbance on the side as a re-rack happens. Kay-lor stepping back very wisely.
Looked off to his right as we had pins reset in the left lanes.
All important to make the spare. We've seen championship matches go down the drain with missed spares a lot this year.
11 pins separating a non-national winner in Paul Koehler and an 11-time champion, including a United States Open, Dave Husted. Great press coverage here this week. Matt Fiorito and Jerry Green and Tom Murkowski. the news and free press. Starting to look tired, and no wonder with the pressure of that semifinal game, and now this for his first win, but a tough opponent.
Husted with that big loft on the ball is catching it on upstroke. That's a good sign. He's waiting for the ball. He lets his wrist roll under it, and he lifts the ball out on the lane. He's not plopping it out there. He's lifting it out. That's what he's looking for. He's hurting, but it's easier to throw one shot than it is two, and for the first time in the match, he can take the lead. 9th frame, 57th game over 7 days for David Husted. U.S. Open title at stake would be his second.
Hit your hurt happened in the 4th frame of this final game. He's just putting everything into the shot, Bo. His whole body is, you know, and I know it hurts.
No doubt, Chris. That's exactly what you have to do. You have to go with the whip. This is the big time. This isn't practice. This isn't a regional tournament. This isn't a local shot. This is for the big one. The Carters, the Webbers, the Verapapas, the Days, they've all won this tournament. One of these players must come away a winner.
Other names, Bob Strampy, who is here in the audience, winning in 1964. The man that did some commentary with us way back.
Well, Kay-lor gets the modern strike. The 6 taps on the 10. The head pin was coming after it. Right now, Paul Koehler stands on the threshold of his first victory. He needs 3 strikes to win Lock City, no matter what Husted does. 10th frame. Chris, you could hear that ball double dribble. The nerves got to him. He got a little bit over it with his shoulders. He drops the ball in there. He's left the 5-7 split. He must go for it. Must go for it in this situation to have any chance of beating Husted. Husted will not give this one back. Needs to get the ball to the right of the 5 pin and slide it over into the 7. The odds in normal conditions are about 2-1 for a pro. Who can say in this situation? Not to be. Here's the situation for David Husted to capture his second U.S. Open championship, the first one in 1982, 13 years later. David Husted needs 9 pins on the first ball. 9 pins. If he gets 9, he wins. Striker spare.
8 strikes for Koehler and a 245.
There it is, second U.S. Open. Bob Strampy.
Yes. You perform when hurt like a champion. But Paul Koehler, you'll see him. And now, Joe Louis Arena.
Husted just barely rolling it down there.
All right. He's going to be in the 260s, and of course, the winner, 46,000 and more. We'll be back.
Dear Thompsons, I depend on Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer, but when my crew ran out, they finished with another brand. Did I hear about it? But you could see the Thompsons working. The other side, nothing. Thompson's works for me. Ray Hayes.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
This spring, Napa is celebrating its 70th anniversary with low prices on some great parts and accessories. Pick up Napa motor oil for only 89 cents a quart, a Napa lawn and garden battery just $17.99, or buy Napa SensaTrack shocks or struts and get 60 minutes of free long-distance calling. So stop into Napa soon, your complete auto parts source since 1925.
We keep America running. We keep America
know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE, and you can save 30% at choice hotels like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep hotels.
It's not enough to love the game. You gotta love to win.
They're jealous. Get used to it.
Don't roll with the punches. Throw them.
Chris is on the one in front.
Twice, David Husted has won the United States Open from the fourth round, a pain in his back. And Jack Moran, the tournament committee chairman of the BPAA, with the jacket. Well,
unbelievable. You know, I'd like to thank the BPAA. A lot of you don't know, my family's in the bowling business, and we're BPAA members, and we're proud of it, and we love these guys.
What about your back?
I stuck at the 2-8 a little bit. It's just real tight right now, but it'll be fine. I won. That's the only thing that matters.
What do you think Champ had to say?
Champ's at the beach. I love you, Dad.
And Michelle, his wife, of course. Kurt Brose, who is president of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, will help heal the left side.
Absolutely, Chris. We're proud of the fact that Dave Husted is a repeat winner of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America U.S. Open. 1982 champ. This year, a little more money, as Chris said, help ease the pain. $46,000 to Dave Husted. Congratulations, Dave.
And to go with it, Bill Strike with the Eagle.
David, symbolic of the U.S. Open, I'm very proud to present this Eagle to you. And I believe the last time I presented something to you was 1985, David. I'm very proud to do it again. On behalf of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, congratulations to you.
And we must say goodbye. Our time is up. Thank you. Duluth Arena. U.S. Open. See you next week in Toronto.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid by Northwest Airlines.
Some people just know how to fly.
Don't go away. Wide World of Sports is up next, featuring the downhill event at the World Mountain Bike Championships. And we'll soar from Canada with the World Ski Jumping Championship. Plus, it's the finals of the Foot Locker Slam Fest. And NASDAQ presents the Santa Anita Derby. Wide World is next in 2 minutes.
Monday, it's a special night of America's funniest home videos. Scale the heights of comedy. Get down and boogie at a special time, 8/7 Central. Then, he's the exterminator.
I'd like to recommend preventative fumigation.
Fumigation?
John Goodman.
Rock and roll.
And Jeff Daniels in Arachnophobia at a special time, 8:30, 7:30 Central, Monday, here on ABC.
There's something new lurking in the night. Something wild. Something that can't be tamed. And now he wants you to come out and play. Red Wolf is here. Follow your instincts.
So, what's your idea of a hot new car?
The car I want has to be red. Red.
Hot new interior, and what else?
Power windows, power locks, and a nice stereo.
Sounds like you know all about the 95 Regal.
But I don't think I can afford this.
Sure you can. $299 a month. $299 a month for Regal.
I like that. Has to be red. Red.
Get into Violetel, Ed, Ricky, Bob Janot, and Armstrong Buick. Get ready to move.
At 5, 6, and 11, on Action News 7.
Don Shane, he is our man. For sports, you know Don can report the best for all the fans. On the ground, in the air, from the stands. If he was a dunk, he'd be a slam. If it's a dare, he's in command. If he was a hit, he'd be a home run. If he was a number, he'd be number one. That's Action News 7's Don Shane.
To those who think a full-bodied beer can't be real red, yet real smooth, we say, where you been living? In a cave? Red Wolf is here. Follow your instincts.
Mackenzie Phillips on the road to recovery tonight at 7 on 7.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Downhill mountain biking is life on the edge. Speed rules as riders push their sanity, risking serious injury. From Vail, Colorado, it's the World Mountain Bike Championships.
So forget all your duties, all your hair.
Get ready for the World Ski Jumping Championship.
Sassoon shampoos and conditioners with a protein and moisturizer complex protecting hair to its cuticle edge. So there's no brush it can't handle, no dryer it can't shrug off. Hair protected by the Sassoon Protection System. Professional care for your hair.
Billy's involvement with Brooke keeps Amanda and Allison pinned against each other on Melrose Place, followed by Medicine Ball at 9. Then it's Eyewitness News prime time at 10 and Bonds Tonight at 11. Here on TV2.
This week, while the other networks are in reruns, Fox has brand new episodes every night of the week.
I can dig that.
Fox, just watch it.
Previously on Melrose Place.
Can't believe I ever loved you, you heartless bastard.
I didn't let you die. I saved your pitiful ass.
We're gonna make quite a team at D&D, aren't we? That's the plan.
Joe and I have always had a strong bond.
So why aren't you with her? You're everything he described.